Good morning everybody, the CL500 is back. Sorry for all of the 350Z content recently. We just had to get the car ready for the drift then. It's something I've got to film and something I've got to film. The CL500 is here. Now today we need to do something really important. This needs to be fixed by Friday and it's a long story. There's something very important going on in my life right now. And yeah, there's a lot. I'm going to be doing a full video of what the hell's going on. But this radiator needs to be fixed by Friday. Now, it is the worst weather ever. It is raining, but I genuinely do not have another minute of another day to do this. So we have to get the radiator done. Now, as you remember, this has always been leaking a little bit from the front left of the radiator. It's not that bad, but it's bad enough that you have to be conscious about it if you're driving it for a long time or whatever. So we have bought a new radiator. Now, today, we're going to be changing the radiator of the CL500. I'm not looking forward to it because the last time I did a radiator it was on a Golf and it was probably one of the worst things I've ever done to a car. Now just looking at the radiator and looking at this, they share some similarities, but we have to get it done nonetheless. Let's get the GoPro, we need to crack on. Okay, it's cold, it's wet, I'm not looking forward to it. Terrible. Right, here is the lovely engine bay. That's just some gloves, ignore them. The lovely engine bay of the CL500. I actually really like this engine. They actually do this engine in one of the SLK 55, which, oh my god, if it came in a manual, oh my god, what a car that would be. Two-seat with a massive V8, unbelievable. We need to get the radiator out. Now, if you guys remember, it's actually leaking somewhere from the plastic bit on here. Yes, a £100,000 car, new, uses plastic radiators. There it is. Great design. Thank you, Mercedes. So, I have no idea what I'm doing, but let's just start trying to change this radiator. Already straight away I can see a massive cable tie here, a little cable tie here, and a little cable tie here, where I believe there should be bolts here and there should be a bolt here. Now for getting it off, it's going to be easier, miles easier. What we need to do is just cut them cable ties and off we go. Putting it back on, I'm going to have to replace those cable ties or find bolts, or at least realise why someone hasn't found bolts. Now I pray to God this is one where I could just slide the radiator out, because in the other Merc that I did on the channel and in the Golf and a lot of the German stuff, they like all bolts like the front bash bars like a rad pack, and that's not fun. So I'm praying that we don't have to do that. But this fan looks pretty loose now, considering once I've got those cable ties off. So let me see how it actually pulls up and out. Up and at them. I literally gave it a pull and it's like coming out. So let's just see where the connector is first. The classic Mercedes, although it seems like it will come out, you've got this, one of the mounts hitting the lines on this side, and on this side you've actually got it hitting the top radiator hose. So you're gonna have to pull one off, whether it's a top radiator hose, or I'm gonna take a pretty guess that that's a transmission oil cooler or an oil cooler. Take that off or that off. That's probably just going to be the easiest way around it. I hope oil doesn't come pissing out here, but I kind of don't have a choice. I don't think it will, because if the engine's off, it's obviously not going to be pressurised. Might be a little bit of a dribble, but I don't think it's going to be that bad. So let me see which way I'm going to attack it. Right, I'm going to go for the oil cooler or transmission oil cooler, whatever it is, with that back there. Oh, look at the little fan belt. Oh, that's cute. Oh, hello. And hopefully we've got enough room. Oh, you that's tight thing. I'm scared about absolutely busting my hands. Oh, okay, I've got it. Oh, you cut. Yep, a little bit of a graze there on the old hand. There gone the days of just doing Japanese stuff, and it's just 2 bolts, 2 10mm, boom, boom, radiator hose, slide it out. You know, I'm not saying Jap cars are the best to work on, because trust me, like, they're not in some situations, but still, why don't we all just take a few notes from the Jap boys sometimes, you know? Okay, can confirm no oil comes out. Okay, it's a good start. It's a fan out. Cool, that motor's heavy. Got a little fan. Oh, hi. So just taking shelter from the rain. It'd be raining, boys. Well, it's quite warm under here. This cozy V8, which was started up about 12 hours ago, is still keeping me warm. What a car, what a car. There's another transmission oil line down there, and I'm worried that that is going to spill oil because of gravity and things, and because that one's actually just as low as the sump. So what I'm gonna take it off and like pull it up as quick as I can and just like wedge it in here, and hopefully I won't lose that much oil. Okay, this one be a little bit oily when you take it off the bottom, but like I'd probably like maybe a tablespoon, if that. You can literally just see it there. So I wouldn't even worry about that. That's totally fine. Don't need to top any more oil from that. Now guys, the radiator hoses, which I'm not looking forward to. I hate doing radiator hoses, especially these ones where they got a stupid clip. Like that is literally exactly what they had in the Golf, and they're an absolute nightmare to pull off. I'm not even joking. I'm actually half tempted to pull it off from the engine here on that. Oh god, there's actually a Jubilee clip there, and if I can't get it off this one at the bottom because of them stupid clips, then I'm probably just half tempted to pull it off this one. Yeah, because them things are bare annoying. What I'm going to do is, this one seems easier, so let's try and get this one off first, and see if we can slide under a little thing to collect most of the coolant and reuse the coolant, because it's clear coolant and it saves me buying, you guessed it, coolant. Okay, thank baby Jesus, there is a drain bolt plug down here. Jack the car up a little bit so I can slide my little catcher under. Let me go and get a pair of pliers and we'll drain that drain plug. Now that's not going to get rid of the coolant completely, but it's going to help with it going fucking everywhere. Coming out slow, usually if you undo this, usually comes out a bit faster. Right, here we go guys. This is where the fun begins. Them stupid German plastic on plastic radiator things. Ugh. I'm not looking forward to it, but there it is. There she is, a bastard. So we're going to get in here, and then we're going to try, obviously they put them upside down to make it, you know, more impossible than it even is, and we're going to try and pull out the clip, right? And the also second thing is you need to make sure that that clip doesn't bounce into a different dimension, because 9 times out of 10 it does. Got that little clip pushed back, it's pulled down. Not going to ping it all the way off. Luckily I've managed to just slide it off. Now, 2 things you need here. One, it's a 16-mile breaker bar with a pry, or 2, absolute brute strength. Now, if you're smart, you would go for the pry bar, but on this channel we're just going to go for the brute strength. Oh. Hey, look at the weather. What am I doing? What am I actually doing? Why do I do this to myself? I'm not gonna lie, I'm doing alright though. I've got both the pipes off. This bottom one's off. Oh, save the coolant. Oh shit, save the coolant. So last, I think all I need to do now, get this little cutie boy off here, and then I can pull the radiator out. To be honest with you lads, I'm not sure how easy it's gonna be, but fucking hell, it's wet. It's I hope you can see this. He's fucking pissing it down. Right, I'm not happy. I thought it was pretty much out. Obviously just a 10mm here, and then, well that 10mm one, I don't know, something's going on there. That's why there's a cable tie. Got this off here, everything's off, but down that side, 2 power steering lines, or whatever they are. Is it power steering? Yeah, it's got to be 2 power steering lines. I don't know if they just bolted to it. I'm not gonna lie, this bonnet is fucking dangerous, mate. It keeps flying down and hitting my head. Okay guys, so we go all the way down here, come underneath. I think it's just bracketed to the radiator, which is really weird because it's plastic. Don't even try and get a ratchet in there, it's not gonna work. I'm gonna try it with a spanner now. So if we come right underneath here, you can just see up here where my spanner is now, there is a 10mm bolt. Okay, I'm on it. Okay, now I pray to God it's not very tight, which is good, but I pray to God that that is it. Because if I've got to start pulling aircon lines and shit off, right, I got it. Please say yes, yes, yes. Look at me guys, some people say I'm the coilover king, but I am definitely the radiator man. Oh, gosh, it's a bit tight, isn't it? Okay, it's not easy because there's like shit on this side, which is like, maybe if I just, oh my god, this is tough, man. It's bloody in there within an inch of its life. Oh, there we go. Just got to keep working at each side because there's like tabs on each side which stop it. Oh, now straight. Oh, there we go. Oh yeah. Woo! Save the coolant. Save the coolant. Right, so that's the radiator, and it's cracked over here somewhere. I'm not entirely sure where, but you can see where someone's put a load of sealant. See all the black shit? You can see where someone's tried to bodge it before. Right, here's the new rad. You get all like new clips and stuff with it. I'm not sure why we need these. That's quite worrying me actually. Does it go inside there? No, they're way too big. I'm gonna leave them. I'm gonna check the seals, and then if they're not bad, I'm gonna leave them because it's just one more thing to break, isn't it? These are the clips at the top of the. I don't know what. I'm just gonna see. I'm just gonna put it back together, and if anything looks like it needs changing, change it. Okay. I've nearly got it pretty much in. To be honest, it was actually easier to get in than it was getting out. The bottom hose was pretty tough, but it was nowhere near as bad as the Golf ones. So I'm just finishing off now, getting all the rest of the lines back on where they need to be. And I've realised, well, I left the top open, so now this is full of shit, full of leaves and dirt and whatever, so I can't really use this. Right, one thing you've got to remember is these two bolts weren't screwing in. So I've looked at the top of the radiator and there's a gap there, but on this one it's like a little piece of metal, so I assume that's got thread in it, and this side's fell out, that's why that side's not bolting in. So that makes a lot of sense. So I'm going to try and pull that out of there now and see if I can pop it in this side. This little thing here, managed to pry it out, and then this should hopefully slot just in there. Okay, so I mean everything's pretty much on. I know why there was so many cable ties before, and that's basically because, see those little 4 square things that I told you about a minute ago, the little metal things? There should be 4 in there and there's only 1. So the actual threads, that's why this was cable tied on, because there's another square thing which should go down in that little bit there, and that acts as a thread. I don't know why they're not just built into the radiator, but they're not. So I should have exchanged 4 over, but there was only 1 on that one. So for the time being, I'm gonna have to just leave it like that until I can A, either find some of them square things, or B, I've actually run out of cable ties and just cable tie it back to, you know, to where it was a minute ago. And to cable tie it around there, and it'd be nice and tight again. Imagine getting those little square things is going to be a pain or expensive, and I don't want neither of them. Good morning, peeps. It is the next day, and luckily it's not raining, and I've got some important things in the back of the Audi. Let me just get them so we can finish off this damn thing. Now, interestingly enough, I googled how much coolant this thing takes. It was like 16 litres. So 16 litres definitely did not come out of that radiator. So instead of buying coolant, there's obviously like at least 13 litres of coolant still in the engine. So we just got some deionized water. If you don't know, that's what is mixed with coolant. Coolant is not concentrate, it is mixed. So we've got some deionized water. Let's just fill up. I've got another 2 litres in the car, so I've got 5 litres here. I think that should fill up the radiator. Let's fill it up, and then let's bracket it up with some cable ties, as like it was before, because you've not got the little metal things. And then let's run it up, and let's pray it's not leaking. Okay, so it did take all 3, but we're at the top now, so we're ready to bleed. Now, it does look like water in there, but when we start it up and run it, it's going to mix with all the coolant in the engine, and it's going to start turning blue. But it's always best to, if you are testing a radiator, it's always best to just use water anyway. Because if you put a load of coolant in there and it's still leaking, you just lost all the coolant. And it's very easy to just come down here, drain a little bit out, and just top it up again. So with that little drain plug down there, we're up to temperature, which is good. Just going to keep the cap open for a little bit, let it bleed. Got the heaters on full. This annoying thing, because every time I turn the battery on, put it back on again, all the lights come on, the ABS light comes on, everything comes on. You need to drive, and then it realizes that there actually isn't anything wrong. And the engine light just keep flopping up, but it's on about an intake air temperature sensor, which it says the right side, but there isn't. I don't know. Keeps coming on and off anyway. But the ABS light is definitely not an issue with the ABS. Every time I put the battery back on, it brings up the ABS, and you go for a drive and it cuts off and doesn't come back on again. So anyway, we're bleeding it up. The cable tied on as well. I need to cut these cable ties off, so that's solid now. But it's done. I've been left it idling for about 20-30 minutes now, and it seems to be no more bubbles coming out, so I'm going to say that is a job well done. I love you all. We'll see you in the next one.